Hi folks, thank you for checking out my video and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough on how to do an oil change on my 2023 Toyota Camry. I purchased this vehicle about 4 months ago. This is a used vehicle, but it is great. I love it so far, no issues. The maintenance required sign did come on. Toyota recommends that you do an oil change between 7,500 miles to 10,000 miles. So this will be the first time that I'm going to change oil to this car. I have not had a chance to look underneath the car yet, but we'll find out when I do the oil change. Before you do the oil change, gather all the materials for the job. You're going to need new oil. The 2023 Camry requires you to use the old W16 oil. You can purchase this at Walmart or you could order online. You're going to need the new oil filter. You can order this online. It's also available at Walmart as well. The model number here is 90915-YZZN1. It's not this type here. This is a different oil filter. So I just wanted to distinguish, just in case there's some confusion, it is the spin-on filter and not this type. You're going to definitely need a funnel and also a safety goggle to protect your eyes. I always use gloves because I don't want any oil to get on my fingers or hands. Plenty of napkins in case you need to wipe out some oil spill. For underneath the car, I always use cardboard paper underneath the area of the oil change. So this way the oil will not get on the floor. For tools, you basically need a socket wrench, and you do need a 14mm socket to remove the plug nut from the oil pan. Right here. I also have a 10mm here as well. You have to remove a plastic panel in order to get to the oil pan. I always have an extra socket wrench here just in case there's not enough space for me to use a longer one, so I always have this as a backup. I'm going to use this ratchet here to remove the old filter. The old filter is like this, and you plug this in there like so. Use the socket wrench to tighten up. These 3 grips here will grip onto the oil filter. You then can remove it. So here are some cool items in order to get underneath the car. So we have a jack stand here. For safety purposes, I recommend using a jack stand. I don't recommend using this. It's unsafe, especially if you're going to spend a certain amount of time underneath the car. So I do not recommend this for safety purposes. This, you might need 2 of them. There's also the hydraulic jack there to lift the car up. But for this project, I'm going to use these ramps instead. I feel that the ramps are much better options for safety purposes. You can get these from Home Depot or order online. I have these for the last 10 years. I've already recovered my investment by changing oil myself. The other piece here is you need the back stopper as well. If you're going to work underneath the car, you don't want the car to roll back and then have the car fall on you. Safety is very important. I want you guys to be really mindful of that. And the last piece here is the oil drain pan. The capacity for this oil change is 4.8 quarts. So you need an oil pan that has a capacity of more than 5 quarts. So there's a little latch right here for the Camry. It's a beautiful engine. So here's the oil cap. You're gonna have to remove the oil cap here to put new oil. So as you can see here, the oil required for this vehicle is old W-16. I saw online that if you can't find the 16, you can use the old W20, but that's up to you. That's your car. So with that, I'm going to pull the car over onto the ramps. Find a flat surface. My garage is pretty flat. Outside's kind of hot, so I'm doing it in here. And I'm going to place these ramps directly in front of the tires. Make sure it's straightforward on both sides. Onto it until you come to a stop. Put it on park. Make sure you push on the parking brake. Turn off the engine. So I will let it sit there for 5 minutes and let the engine cool down a little bit before I get underneath the car. I have the back stopper here. It's on the other side. Again, safety is very important. Do it with safety in mind. You can remove the cover here. It's just a matter of just like that. We're going to remove it counterclockwise. Put it somewhere where you can find it later on. So that's about it. You can see the smoke coming up here. So it's still a little hot. I'm gonna wait for a while. With the vehicle on the ramps, it does give me a lot of clearance to get underneath the car. Going to place this cardboard underneath here. Next, I'm gonna place my drainage pan underneath there. There's the oil pan right there. Normally, there's a plastic cover. You have to unscrew it, but the previous owner took it out and they never put it back, so that made my job easier. I have access to it right away. But yours might come with a cover, so you might need to use a 10mm socket to remove the cover, all right? Just a closer look at the oil pan here, or reservoir here. So that's a 14mm nut right there that you can remove. And then just to your right, there's an oil filter. You can use that ratchet to remove it. You're going to remove the oil first before you remove the oil filter. You can use the 14mm socket here to remove the nut here. So you want to do it counterclockwise. Make sure you wear your gloves. I got my gloves here. Oof. Oof. It's a tough one. So that's why you have to wear your gloves and wait for the oil to cool down. And from here, you just remove the nuts here and then let it drain. Oh, I got my hands all wet, you see? That's why it's important to wear gloves. Wait until all the oil is drained, and then you basically plug this back in there before you remove the oil filter. It's completely drained, so I'm gonna plug this back in. Use gloves. I'm gonna clean the area here. And then I'm going to use the socket wrench to tighten it up. Do this as firmly as possible, right? You know, not too tight, firm. There we go. All right, so the oil filter is right here. So earlier I used the ratchet to open it, like so, right? It came loose. So now I'm going to use my hand to remove it, right there. So make sure the oil drainage is underneath like that and let it drip. Yeah, I'm not gonna remove it completely because then I'm gonna get oil all over my fingers. So slowly. As you can see there, and let it drip until it's completely gone. And then of course there's going to be still oil left, and then you can twist it. Continue to do counterclockwise rotation. There you go. There's more, of course. That's why gloves is really important. We're going to use the new filter here, and before you put in the new filter, you want to soak a napkin or cloth with the new oil. Wipe it around the rim, get it wet so that it'll mate better. Some people fill in the oil in there, but I'm not gonna do this because it's gonna spill. So the oil eventually gonna get there. So this should be hand tight. I'm wiping the area, I'm wiping the oil. I'm gonna take off my gloves now and see if I can get more grip. So there we go, hand tight, much better. So that should do it. The next step is putting the new oil into the engine. You're going to need 4.8 quarts. So I completed putting 4.8 quarts of oil into the engine. Put the cap back on, like so. Put the cover back on. Snap. Cool. Not done yet. We're going to turn on the engine, take a look at underneath to see if there's any oil leak coming through before we call it done. Let's see if there's any oil leak. I don't see anything dripping. It's looking good. Okay, so now that we changed the oil, I'm going to reset the maintenance required sign. It's really easy to do. You're just gonna use this here, and then the arrow, and then the OK button. Now I'm going to use the arrow button to navigate to the gear button there. As you can see, I'm going to use the down arrow to vehicle setting, I'm gonna put OK. I'm going to go down to schedule maintenance, press OK. Schedule maintenance, I'm going to press yes. Reset is complete. Our oil change is done. All right, folks, another successful project. Definitely you can do this yourself. It just takes a little bit of time preparing and getting the materials beforehand to get the job done. If you found my video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Again, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you again soon.